welcome to unMadeGaming, where, golly, I wish you guys could see the pre-show, but we'd get banned from Twitch. That being said...
Talking about the history of vagina wigs.
No!
Not be banned on Twitch.
No!
We're being historically accurate and informing the public that people used to wear the little white wigs with the curls on them on their vaginas. I'm not showing them a vagina wig.
Easter egg, if you can find out what other video McLogan talked about this in, you get free internet points. That being said, we are here with the full cast and crew, and a fully ambulatory Cherry today. So we have Cherry, we have Sam, aka the Wise Fool, we have whatever the hell McLogan's doing, and we have Johnny, aka Video Store Cowboy. If you guys want to support the channel, please go check out our Patreon. If you guys want to join the conversation, please go check us out on the Discord. And if you look in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, you will see Thurs Fortune. And what that is when that bar fills, Johnny gets to unleash all kinds of space fuckery on us. And more importantly, every amount of money that goes to that bar goes back to these wonderful, beautiful players right here. That being said, I'm done chilling. Johnny, recap us.
Is there a recap? Should we recap?
It's like 17
Hey, man,
paragraphs.
Dude, you know what? I write 500 words every week for you guys, and I never get any appreciation. So, maybe you guys don't deserve a recap this week.
We'll also
maybe
GM for 2
I'll
hours.
write you a 500-word essay on vagina wigs.
Wait a minute. Are you my professor? Should I write that right now, live? Should I just pull my...
That'll be next week's recap.
Dun 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 dun.
I'll get you 500 words next week on vagina wigs.
How do I have a show?
All right, guys, let's do this. Previously on A Blaze of Glory Hole, Electric Boogaloo. Sorry. The crew has been given a job by the Pirate Queen of... Hold on, let's start over. The crew has been given a job by the Pirate Queen of the Maelstrom Pirates. Having talked their way onto the cove, the pirate space station hidden within the Ashtari Nebula, they found themselves face to face with the Pirate Queen formerly known as the Banshee. However, Alonda, as she wants to be known, had a more formal business-like approach to meeting the crew. Instead of walking them out of an airlock, she chastised them and offered them a job. Upon exiting her presence, Levi puts some mechanisms into place as insurance should things go bad the next time they find themselves at the cove. Specifically, tapping into the surveillance system of the space station and gaining control of the airlock in Alonda's office. The job description was simple. The crew were to head to the Straylight and rescue a business partner of Alonda's. The Straylight is a traveling space station that serves as a nightclub and travels between the various planets of the Ren system. Alonda's business partner, being held by an unknown group, was able to smuggle messages out to her and request some help. The captive, as it turns out, was also the contact that Lynn had put the crew in connection with to deliver the cube that they were holding. The contact, as Lynn explained, was an anonymous member of House Malcleth. The plot thickens. En route, the crew decide that they'll take 2 different approaches into the station. Switch, Sally, and Fitzy would go in the front door and play a game of deception to gain access to the station. Levi would go in the back door, hack his way into the security system, and cause havoc with any tech he could. Switch, Sally, and Fitzy are posing as armed dealers from the Janus Syndicate. They use some background knowledge that Switch found on Chance, the owner of the Straylight, and find themselves waiting for him in a private room. Meanwhile, Levi hacks all of the things and finds out that Chance is really bad at security. He also discovers a registry of who's actually on the Straylight right now, since it happens to look pretty busy in the nightclub. What's in that list is more than a little intimidating. Representatives from most of the big criminal syndicates are here, and they're having some big powwow. Also at the party is one Darla of the Starless Veil. The station is full of police, and they still haven't located their target as we fade in. So we're going to fade into Levi. Levi, you hopefully that all just came in. Actually, I just roboted a bit. Levi, you are sitting in, at a terminal essentially, or you're sitting with that information right in front of you. You just kind of that's just kind of been laid out right in front of you. With all of that detail. Again, Chance is very bad at security. You discover the registry of who's actually on the ship, and he's so bad that his key to translate from their fake names to who they actually are among the syndicates just is like in the next file that you actually look into and can see. So that information is all there for you. What are you doing?
Well, first, Levi would be sending the fucking information over to Switch to let him know who the fuck is here. And then, and I know Darla's coming. So that's going to be entertaining. So real quick, so I keep forgetting House Marquette, the representative of House Marquette is the guy we're taking.
Remember, so that
or he's a way in.
Right. I'm not sure if I specified a gender, and if I did, I didn't mean to, because one of the things about House Malcleth is that there is only one known member of the house, and that is the leader of the house. Mm-hmm. Up until that point, everyone else is anonymous, but they're supposed to be like this sort of like nefarious, dark, sort of like you know Illuminati type family kind of role. Right. Controlling the sector, right? The Procyon sector, and so. Lynn's contact was supposed to meet you on the Cove, but when you found out that when you got caught up in the whole being swept up to go talk to the Pirate Queen, it turns out that her business partner is actually the contact, and they sent you a message saying, "I'm waiting for you on the Straylight." So yes, it's the same person.
All right. Do I know any information of why all these people are here?
There's nothing obvious about it, right? There's a bunch of invitations that supposedly went out with the official sort of Straylight letterhead on top of it or whatever. And of course, there's some flourishy sort of sweet affectation of some text indicating inviting them at the hospitality of chance of the Straylight. Blah, 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 but there's no clear indication as to what all of these different representatives are doing here.
Okay. I think at this point then, I'm deep in their system, their security sex. Do I know what kind of defenses they have? Security wise, do they have cameras and automated weapon turrets or...
So if I remember correctly, let me pull up I believe you critted. I know it was at least a 6, but I think you critted.
No, it was a crit.
It was a crit.
It's the last roll on there, so he did.
Yeah, okay. So I just wanted to make sure. So looking at that, yeah, you have a fair assessment of what's going on here, right? As I said, Chance is really bad at security. So clearly somebody else designed the physical security elements of the system. It's just the network and computer security that's absolutely terrible, which is it's a failure in the sort of the chain of responsibility here. So what you find is surveillance for the entire station. At least that's what you generally get an assessment of. However, if you look in detail, as you start kind of combing through the information, looking in detail, you realize that there is a small section very close to your location where there's a large either room or set of rooms that are not, there's no surveillance there whatsoever. It's almost like a black box kind of a situation. If you were looking at the display, you could see everything except in this one section. And in that section, it's dark.
Can I get...
And so, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Can I get there through the access tunnel I'm in right now?
You might be able to. Let me finish a little bit of the other information, and then we can talk about what that actually means. All right. So for actual physical security, you see that there's a number of essentially goons or guards that have been hired to service physical security, but there are no sort of automated systems. There's no drones or bots of any kind. The Straylight has a minimal amount of weaponry to protect itself from attack, but it's the kind of thing that's supposed to take care of a couple of fighters. Nothing that big to handle multiple large ships or whatever. If somebody was something invading force, it's only to handle bandits or whatever. And so that's the only weapons system that is actually on the ship.
Okay. So there's no what I was worried about is all of a sudden you're in a room, turrets come out of the fucking ceiling, and you're like, fuck.
So you can't speak to having any information about what's inside the blackened area.
Mm-hmm.
but everything else about the ship is available to you in respect to information. And from what you can tell, there is no other room that is not handled by physical security, like goons, or basically.
Okay. I'm gonna basically send this information through text, encrypted with my encryption to Switch, who has the key.
He forgot it. Just kidding.
What a dick.
Oh damn! I forgot that key. Oh god.
Shit. Where's that goddamn key? Oh, here it is.
Fucking wingdings.
I taped
Why
it to
is
the
he
back of my
everything in
router.
Wingdings.
Taped it on my router. I forgot it. Oh, shit.
At this
Space
point,
Verizon.
I would send you the list, and then I would also send you this is in my voice. I was like, well, it looks like there's no automated security, but inside it's all goons. So space version can punchy punch. And hopefully he just doesn't get shot to death if we need to. There is a blackout room. Which I can't see into, so I'm gonna make my way there. But I'll keep an eye on you. I'm actually way deep in the system. They fucking suck at security here. So
wait, so correct me if I'm wrong, but this guest list I'm looking at is got some pretty impressive names on it then.
Right. So the names that were listed on there were, pretty much almost every single, high level top tier faction. Some names being like the Lost Legion, the Scarlet Wolves. Vorex is here, which is a particular interest, I'm sure, to Levi, because Vorex is the information broker. The Bornico Syndicate, Janus, or no, sorry, not the Janus Syndicate, the Turner Society and the Cobalt Syndicate were also there.
Ooh,
and of course, sorry, what?
Didn't you say the Janus Syndicate was there?
No, we are.
we're pretending to be them.
They are pretending to be
That was
them.
I thought that was the issue. It's because that's one thing I remember hearing, and I was like, "Oh shit, the Janus are here, and we're supposed to."
Well, Turner being here is definitely a problem because they definitely will recognize Switch if it's the wrong person.
Okay.
So yeah, Switch will scroll through this and be like, oh, actually, this list is pretty. We might be able to turn this into a hostage situation too. That we could get a double whammy. Let's figure out the first job first. I think we got the place to go. There's going to be some people who get hit.
As the resident guy who punches other guys in the face, do you know how are you good at maths? You pretty good at maths, or just average?
I actually am pretty good at math. You gotta know numbers.
I know you did some lawyering and some accounting, but you have one blaster. I
actually have two.
Okay, great. You have two, one for each hand. I have 0 blasters.
I have this.
Sally is equally likely to shoot herself in the face as she is to shoot someone else in the face.
I have only shot other people so far. Thank you.
I'm gonna keep reminding you that so far Sally has taken out more people.
I'm just saying,
stuff than you have.
There's 3 of us and 3 guns, and everyone else has more people and also guns. I don't think we could do a hostage situation here. We're outnumbered by a lot.
We may be able to figure it out. I'm just thought the door is open. There's important people. The door is open.
Our door is locked, if I remember correctly. I'm gonna poke at the door.
Is our door locked?
The door is locked.
Oh, are we locked
so
in
that's a problem.
Oh, we're locked.
Shite.
All right. Well, all right. We got. Okay. So we got to get to this room over here. I'm gonna send a message back to Mr. Buttons over there.
Can we all talk to him, or is it just Switch?
Well, I don't want to call him. I mean, I don't think we have an encrypted channel. Oh, actually, do we bought
We could. That's what I'm asking.
On our ship. Yeah, all right. I'm just gonna call him on an encrypted channel because we're in this empty.
Sally's gonna shoot him a message that says, "Should we upper deck them until they let us out?"
Oh God,
Sally, there's not even a bathroom in here.
I'm just gonna.
It's the other bathrooms.
I'm gonna send a message to asking him if he can unlock the door and send him like the general area we were looking for.
All right, say that again.
I'm trying to get Levi to unlock the door for us.
Okay. Levi,
I'm
what are you
assuming
going to do
it's
about
some
that?
sort of mechanical lock.
Why is the door locked in the first place? They just left him in there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, they were escorted in. I mean, the
We're
host.
supposed to wait for the guy.
You're supposed to wait for a chance. The host brought them back through towards the back room, and when they walked through the nightclub area, it was filled full of like goons who were all edgy, like various sort of like security folk for the various factions. It makes more sense now that you guys have that information. So there's like all these like twitchy folks, having a drink and not really kind of partying it up. But when they got into the back room, there was this nice little hostess who just walked them in. And then she closed the door and says, "Let somebody be right with you," and locked the door.
Where did the hostess go?
To get the guy.
I'm
Supposedly.
looking on the cameras.
Oh.
So, Switch, describe the hostess to us.
Oh man, that's a good question. I think maybe would a Xeno work here, or would that be like a faux pas?
The guy that let us in.
Oh yeah, he was the
Xeno.
bouncer was. So I think this woman is as well. I think she's kind of like, oh man, what would be like a good type to be like a bartender? Maybe like if the other guy was a squid, she's like kind of like octopus-esque, but you don't really notice until like she starts serving drinks, and then she's got like a bunch of arms coming out at once, right? Like
She's
her
like
cocktail dress,
cephalopoidal.
right? Like her cocktail dress is like her octopus arms.
And when it comes up, she's naked under it, and she's just handing out drinks.
And she's wearing a merkin, so I mean,
I was just going to ask, is there a merkin involved here?
Please
Well,
no.
no, octopuses don't have hair.
That's why she's wearing
That's
a wig.
why she's wearing a wig. Obviously, Sam, don't be racist against Xenos.
Since this has been brought up, just real quick, because I know, Levi, explain to me what the merkin looks like on an octopus squiddy girl.
Tentacles.
It's more tentacles.
It looks like Cthulhu's face.
I imagine.
Do you?
I imagine that it would be something. You know what? It's going to be Victorian. All right. That's how I imagine these wigs, and that's how it looks. And it's blue. It's a blue Victorian vagina wig.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why?
Sally is just, once she sees the dress start to go up, just gonna stick her nose like directly in the corner of a room and not look at anything until she leaves again.
Gotta go anyway.
Every time I try to do something, it becomes that.
So,
Freaking merchants.
Levi, that is what the hostess looks like.
Okay.
So you start scanning through and look at the various displays, and you're like flipping through, and you get a picture of what appears to be not the nightclub floor, but another back room. And in that back room, you see her, and she's talking to one of these other physical security goon type guys, and they appear to be having an exchange. And as you kind of key it in and you begin to listen to the audio, the exchange is briefly about a description of what Switch and Sally and Fitzy look like, who they're supposed to be, and how that they were asking for a chance. The security guard, or the goon, looks really, really, really just confused.
I would. So she's telling him how they're looking for Chance, and is she saying that she's going to go talk to Chance?
She's checking in with him before anything else. That appears to be the tone of the conversation, is that she's validating with security before approaching Chance personally.
And he doesn't look like he understands the procedure.
No, he looks like he doesn't. It doesn't match. That Switch, Sally, and Fitzy don't match the description of the people that he's expecting or he would expect. because when Fitzy Sally and Switch came in, and Switch told them, told the sort of the maitre d' who they were. There was a standing order that they would be escorted to a private room, and where Chance was supposed to be contacted immediately. However, it's clear that an additional part of that is there's a clear description of the people who should be showing up on a typical basis, and the three of them do not match that indication of who those people are.
Oh, okay.
I'm like,
yeah. At this point, I was like, "Oh, you might have been made already." Unlock the door.
Yeah, we're gonna follow the directions and start heading off. I think we probably see Switch poke his head out real quick and make sure that nobody's obviously looking for them to come out, and then we'll start heading, and hopefully the other two will follow.
Where are you heading? Because right now you're basically in a back room area, and there's a bunch of private rooms, and there are a bunch of doors, and you actually saw a hostess, a different hostess coming out of one of those rooms with with refreshments. And then there's sort of that long hallway, and then the pathway that you can come from is the direction of the club, and then there's another direction. Well,
Levi sent us where the general location of this room that he thinks he identified is.
Right.
Do I know?
Based on the way that the location is in the map, you're going to have to go back out through the club and through another sort of entrance behind the bar.
Okay. Here is what we should do. All right, I've got spy gear. So I have a little bit of change of disguise for each of us, so that we can look slightly different as we're coming back out into the club. Maybe a different shirt for Switch, a different shirt and tie for Switch. Some sort of different kind of different type of robes or something. I don't know. I'm thinking the Switch is enough that it's the type of thing. He's not trying to majorly change the look of anybody. It's just enough that on first glance it would not seem like the group that came in.
I imagine this scene, right, as Switch is getting all of his spy gear on, right, and he's completely changing his costume, and Sally's doing her thing as well with whatever's left over and some makeup, and all that's left is a pair of sunglasses. And so Fitzy just takes off the robe, because he has clothes underneath it, and then just balls it up and puts it in Switch's backpack and just puts on sunglasses. So he's just in imagine a Jedi without the robe, and he just has space Ray-Bans on.
Awesome.
And Sally's just put football lines on her face because she doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Ready.
So given the descriptions that I'm hearing, I think what I'm going to need is some sort of a role.
Yeah.
Whether it's a an individual role for each of you, or whether it's a group led role. And I think that since it's Switch doing
I think I'm leading a role.
Yeah, I think you're totally leading the role.
And
here.
I've got a point in Skulk, so I can roll that.
So
only 8 points?
I've got
Just one.
Skulk I've got Skulk as well. So we all roll, and then I take stress for everyone who fails, correct?
You take stress for everyone who fails.
And this is risky, yeah?
Yeah, because I don't. Well, so here's the thing. Let me ask this question around the table, just to get a general sense.
Perfect time to robot.
How many tips in Skulk do you have?
I have 0 Skulk.
I have one.
I have one.
Can I assist in one way? Do they have a camera shooting into their room, looking at them?
Oh yeah, there's an obvious camera, and you can see in the other private rooms as well. So that section is fully cameraed.
Can I put it on a loop where it looks like it's been empty the whole time?
You
can just have a loop of us just in there.
Or a loop of us, yeah.
But the problem is if they go back in there and they're like, hey, they're gone, and they're like, no, I see them. I'm gonna make it look like that bitch is crazy, and so
I brought them right here.
I can see that.
Okay, I think you can support. You can definitely assist them. You're gonna get an additional bonus, or they're gonna get an additional bonus die each of you for the roll. You're definitely taking the 2 stress.
Yep. Oh god damn it.
Okay, so
How much stress do you have left?
McLogan. So to assist us, you just get 2. You just get 2 stress.
I have
You
no.
take two.
I after I take the 2 stress, I have 2 left.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
So I'm not assisting anyone anymore.
So just it's okay to trauma out, but that means you're useless for the rest of the score. So just be careful.
Oh, I don't want to be useless.
Yeah, so that's actually an argument for why you may not want to do this at this point. There's still a lot going on in this particular score. This may be the last job that you guys do
You're
before
fine.
the end of the season.
You're fine. You got 2 left.
I was figuring I was gonna assist with the skulk roll, but
You are. So anytime you assist, you just take 2 stress, and we get a bonus dice for it.
Technically,
Oh, okay.
honestly, Johnny's being nice because technically you'd be helping with 3 rolls and it would be 3 stress. So he's being nice and giving it to you.
Oh, okay.
Because you're
I
helping.
am giving it for 2, so
I'm gonna hang because I only have 4 points left in stress, so
You're
I'm
fine.
gonna hold
You're
on.
fine.
It's fine.
I'm
We'll give you
okay.
drugs.
come on. You know you want some trauma. You want some paranoid or some reckless.
So
or
the
some
thing is,
unstable.
trauma gets
and
you
then Sally's just
XP.
gonna like.
It gets you
Yeah.
XP.
Does it?
Trauma's
Yeah,
a
it
role playing
does.
thing.
If you play to your trauma, you get XP.
When you play to your traumas, like if you're paranoid and you play like a paranoid person, you get XP.
Besides, Levi's got this thing going on right here. It's good. He's good. He's good. He's like, all orifices are welcome for the drugs that Sally will give him.
You seem a little stressed out, man. Take some drugs for it.
I'm actually going to do something else instead of that, but we can
God.
get to that later.
All
Okay.
right. So let's all
so-
do skulks.
So risky,
And then effect of
limited.
Hold on a second. I just want to confirm you're not giving your assist. Is that
No.
correct?
No.
Okay, good. All right. So yes, risky. The effect I think is unless somebody wants to argue it, I think it's going to be standard.
Okay.
And the reason is that it's not just affecting the situation in that room. It's going to affect the situation inside of the entire like sort of public area.
and no bonus.
That's the only
dice.
places that you've been seen.
Sure. Before you roll. All right.
Whoops.
I was gonna say before you roll, you each get an extra die because I have an asset with the spy gear. I gave you each an extra die for having the.
Okay.
I'll just roll again.
I'll just
Yeah,
roll
just
again.
roll.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Skulk, risky, standard, bonus die 1. Yeah.
Nice, Sally.
I still got a 2.
Bummer.
That's tragic.
Sunglasses
Wait, why did you
are
roll with
ineffective.
0 die again? It doesn't matter. It's
Oh,
fine.
I guess technically I got a 3 then.
You would have gotten the 3. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
All right, so I take 1 stress for his failure, right?
You do take 1 stress for his failure, but you guys generally succeed. However,
I am wearing I just took the robe off and I just have sunglasses on. I tried to Clark Kent this bitch.
Can I ask a question?
You earn
What
a
kind of
DM.
sunglasses?
There's space Ray-Bans.
Oh, they're space Ray. Oh, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
thought they were like space, sort of like mirrored, like cop
No,
glasses.
if you
But
like
Ray-Bans.
if you take the big sunglasses from Back to the Future and you made them Ray-Bans.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they look like.
All right. Fair enough. Jesus Christ.
You're welcome.
Okay. You slip out into the corridor. I assume, I'm assuming Levi has started the blank loop.
No, I didn't assist.
Yeah, he didn't help with that.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That
You
was
didn't
because I was
assist.
going to
Okay.
take 2 stress, but I didn't take that.
Right. Okay. So you slip out. The hallway's empty. Which direction do you want to go?
Towards the location, so back out where we were coming from, so that we can try to get to the room we think this guy's going to be in. Unless one of the other 2 has an idea better than that.
Can I see a better path for them? Can I roll a study to do that?
Yeah, I think that this is going to be the kind of thing where you're going to need to spend a bit of time to kind of quarterback this situation. So however you like navigate that, like it's gonna definitely require a roll.
I study. It's probably because I have to study the camera feeds real quick and like be like, okay, how are they arranged?
He's going like hard, like Mission Impossible hacker aid. Get man in the chair right now, where it's like, all right, go to the left and right now, hold.
Yeah. Would this be risky because I got to do it quick? Standard. Because I'm also trying to like get an arrangement, so like I have this figured out in my head as well, just in case like shit hits the fan and I need to like tell them, you're like, oh, they're all going this way, you need to go that way.
So risky and standard seems to be the right thing to go, because there is an element of like desperation to what you guys are doing. But I don't think it's to the point where everybody's aware that there's a problem yet. So that makes a lot more sense as risky. So
okay.
I feel like people are like there's it would be very easy for this to all blow up in our face, but it hasn't yet.
I think that's the entire game.
Right. Yeah. Which is why most rolls are risky.
All right.
Are they though?
That's our whole crew.
No bonus dice. This is one dice.
It's actually you take.
I failed.
Good.
Okay.
How did you roll one dice?
I
Oh,
only
you have
in study.
one. You have one pip in it. Okay.
You have one pip in study. Start directing them. Start directing them the right way.
Oh no. Oh no.
Go out the door, and if you go down the hall, I think.
What's he saying?
I don't. Okay, hold on.
Wait, this way.
Hold on.
I guess
Siri in your ears going,
no
hurry
one's
up,
even
idiot.
here. Why are we all whispering?
And there's like loud club music
Yeah.
in the background.
I can't even hear you.
Are you saying words?
I'm trying to. Just
Are
follow
we-
me. Just follow me.
Telling each other deep secrets because we can't hear each other.
Just follow me.
I don't know.
Which direction are we
Wait,
going?
you don't. You
No,
don't.
don't go that way. No.
What
What
are you saying? Switch. Which are we going left or right? It's a T intersection. We only have two options.
I can't.
We're going left. We're going left.
We're going
it's
left.
all-
Okay.
It's all
Starts going left.
I've
It's
seen
like
a dungeon.
Resident Evil 2
I've
over
seen
here,
a
camera,
dungeon game
and
if you
guys
put
are
your hand
changing
on the
all
left
over,
hand
and I
side of the
can't-
wall and you follow it
I
down
can't keep
like a
focused.
labyrinth. What?
I need some drugs. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Great. So left
Anybody
it
else
is.
needs some drugs?
No one needs drugs.
I'm
That's
going.
not true.
I'm going to the left.
We're going left.
So you step out to the left, heading away from the club, I assume.
70 people are just there.
Yeah, I'm going. Switch just made a decision.
Made a decision going left. All right, so when you step out the door and you go left, you're actually going away from the club. So the sound of the music is kind of like, thrumming and bumping, and you can hear it, but it's getting a little bit more diminished as you start to walk down this particular
Oh, for
hall.
shite's sake, I hate Specno. I'm so glad we're out of the club.
This feels wrong. I swear that we were supposed to go the other way. Are you sure this is the right way, Levi?
Why would you
I'm
put it-
I'm still going.
Wait, what do you put it on me for? I don't know where the fuck you're going.
Who in their right mind puts a prison inside of a
What
club?
are they doing over there? Oh my God, they're having a little dance circle in the club.
I don't know. If I have to go to prison, I want to go to prison club.
You got a fair point. You got to. I guess compared to the alternative, it's not.
And then I'm like, no, take a right there. And when they all go in, it's a bathroom.
We're just done.
Don't upper deck. Don't upper deck.
What?
All right.
What is with you in the upper decking?
All right, we're going the other way now.
Is this the bathroom here? Is this how do we climb into the ceiling and go through the pipes, or a duct, perhaps?
So as you step into the bathroom, it's terrible. It's incredibly small. So the three of you barely fit into there. You're
It's
about
a
to
men's
step
bathroom
out.
at a club, so there's like a weird guy there handing you mouthwash and there's pee on the floor. It's a weird dichotomy.
I don't
No.
like this.
This is the private back room place where it's a little bit cleaner, but the same basic thing. It still smells terrible, but they do have like party drugs that available as a part of the options that the attendant's going to give you. However, the attendant kind of looks at you, and it's sort of like this genderless creature who's just completely like very almost featureless, that very smooth and all their like vaguely humanoid kind of a thing. And the three of you you look at the situation, you're about to turn around to go out, and as you open the door switch, you hear the voice of the hostess talking to somebody else down the hall to your left.
Oh no.
That's the way we came, right?
No, you came from the right.
Okay, we're going back right. I'm back right.
All right, so you immediately kind of like you're like and you start to head back the other direction, and you can hear her voice getting louder, and you hear the following. Yeah, I don't know what to do with them either. I guess I'll just stall them until you get a chance to speak to Chance. Okay, I'll get them some drinks or something. And then you hear the door sort of close behind you, but it's just around a corner. And you guys are able to kind of slip back down the hallway and get around the corner towards the club just before she kind of turns turns the corner and looks down the long hall. And now you're back into the club, and we're going to cut back to Levi.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, go ahead.
No, I was just going to make a joke at Sam's expense. You're fine.
After they leave there, I'm going to relock the door and make it so the access codes don't work.
Okay.
But
I'm gonna need a roll for that, actually.
Okay. Risky again?
I feel like that's...
Yeah. You know what? No, this is actually controlled, because this isn't a situation where they think anything is a problem right now. So and nobody knows that you're in the system. So
yeah, and
limited?
failure means nothing. It just stays unlocked.
yes,
Limited?
basically.
Yeah. Okay. No extra dice. Let's do it. 5, 5, 6.
Oh yeah. So the door kind of just goes from green to red, and then like its status display just kind of reads locked down or whatever, and she walks up and she starts to punch in the codes, and it doesn't work. She kind of looks. You're watching this on the camera in the hallway. Kind of looks off to the side, thinks about it, taps it in again, looks, and then she pulls out a data pad, and she starts to type in something, checks that, types in one more time, and then she just gets all huffy and walks back down the direction towards the room that she was originally in before.
Trying to buy them some time. So at this point, one thing, is it possible I can key into the radio frequencies?
Radio frequencies for what?
The communications for the security.
Yes, I would assume that you were capable of doing it. But depending upon what you want to do, it's going to be either going to be something that you just possibly get because of your crit from the hacking of the security system, or it's going to be a roll based on like the level of like complexity of what you're trying to do.
Hear me out.
I'm listening.
I'm going to every time someone checks in with the radio, I'm taking a sample, and I have a program that's basically running
Nice.
and taking the audio samples and making it so like if I need to, I can key into the radio and come in as like Radio A's voice, but like I'm also getting like if they say their name or if they're using code names at the same time, and like having that program run as I'm still making my way to the blackout room through the access tunnel.
I'm gonna need a roll of some kind. That is a bit complex because the radio signals, they aren't quite stupid about this particular part, the physical security guys, because they've got an encrypted, communications channel.
Okay, risky. So I had to break the encryption, honestly.
Yes, this is actually controlled. Again, they don't know you're in the system yet.
Okay, I'm gonna cancel that. Actually, it doesn't matter, does it?
In this particular case, it's actually going to matter.
Well, no, when I'm rolling the dice.
No, so the risky and controlled and stuff, that basically is like if you succeed or fail, it's bigger or smaller.
Right, exactly.
Would this be limited?
With his,
I would say it's actually great. I would say
Yeah,
this
this
is
is
controlled and great. Like, that's a pretty powerful little toy you're making there.
exactly.
I don't want to use a gambit. I don't want to take a devil's bargain. I don't want to push myself yet. I feel
We do have all 3 gambits yet. We haven't used any yet.
No, we used one, but I earned one on that risky roll. So yeah,
Right.
Yep.
okay.
we got gambits.
You got gambits to spend, and
I'll use a gambit.
okay.
No.
Ooh, that was
That's a
fucking
lot
close.
of dice for a bad roll.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy shit.
That's like just shy of a crit fail, and I panicked.
All right. So you start taking samples. You write this little extension to some code that you already have, right? The script that you already have, and you start giving it the specific frequencies and start hacking at it, and you fire it off. But 30 seconds into you trying to transit to the next place, it beeps up with an error. And you're like, fuck. And you have to pause, and you start doing it again. And you get going, and you another 30 seconds of you trying to move to your next position, and then you have to stop again. And then finally Siri's like, God damn it, just let me freaking do it. And she just like takes over your display and starts hacking at it.
I very well have this in hand, madam.
Do you? She says.
I'm dead. Fuck. I just keep crawling down, pissed off, because she's not gonna listen. I could do everything so much better than you.
Oh yeah, she's giving you all kinds of sass as we cut back to the club where Switch, Fitzy, and Sally are.
Look, if you had to use the bathroom, you could have just gone. You didn't have to take the rest of us with you.
Look, Levi did a bad job. I thought he was going to direct us with the cameras. Just play it cool. I'm pretty sure I know where we're going. Just
What?
come
You're
on.
pretty
Are we
sure.
out of the
You know
bathroom?
we're back in the club.
Oh, okay.
We've been out of the bathroom for like a solid 2 minutes.
It's fine.
Look, you got the same info that I got. We're going to just come
No,
on.
I didn't. I left my communicator back on the ship.
Hey guys, the Specno is really, really loud, so I'm going to need you to speak up a little.
Shut the fuck up.
No, we're like saying this like between the beats.
Are we
like,
out
the
of
parts
the
of the song that like
bathroom?
stop. It's like
When the beat drops,
You
that's
have-
when we're...
the same information that I have.
Are you sure it's not jizz? I mean, in Star Wars land, it's called
right.
jizz. So
No, it's Specno.
What kind of club are we in here?
A jizz club.
Yeah, I'm
I don't
gonna
like
try to,
it.
basically, so what my goal here is I want to get to where we're trying to go but I want to like move with the crowd in a way that's like it's not super obvious that we stand out.
Oh God.
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to repeat that again. You guys roboted out there for just a second.
I'm sorry. So basically, we have to like basically navigate through this club to get to this other side of these back rooms. I want to try to do so in a way that is circumspect and makes us seem like club goers and not criminals trying to rob them. So I'm hoping to make a roll for that.
So you've already done this whole sort of like disguise thing that's going to generally pass you off as something else, even though Fitzy just decided to put on sunglasses and call it good. But
So if there's no roll needed, that's fine. But basically, like I don't want it to be like us making a beeline across the dance floor and like all of the guards are like, hey, what are those people doing?
all right, so.
Sally doesn't really know how to dance, so she just had jobs.
All right. So with the setting, of the main nightclub, you have to worry about the maitre d' who basically connected you with the hostess, right? There's also various guards, goons basically that are around the area, and then there's what you're assuming is mostly muscle from all the various factions that are on the station that Levi has just made you aware of. To me, the idea of a roll depends on how fast you want to move through the room. If you take your time and move incredibly slow, that's one thing, right? If you're you need to get across the room within a reasonable amount of time, so like a short period of time. That's when I feel like a role really starts to make sense.
Well, let me like kind of paint more of a picture here. So basically, what I'm imagining kind of is the way Switch goes about this is it's not like him trying to like be like sneaky and like sneak quickly through the room. It's like he is trying to like navigate the people and like kind of naturally weave through the flows of conversation. So that, you know, he's like misses a bartender there and he like hears that this guy is like looking to get a drink, so he's out of the way before that guy turns to like move to the bar. And he's basically trying to use like his kind of natural like ability to pick up what's going on around him socially to make it so that he can navigate through this in a fashion that's not him getting run into and bumped and jostled the way anyone who walks through a club does. Oh, you're muted.
Because he was dying, because I just put on space techno. As you're like weaving through the club, you look back and there's Fitzy and he's like...
It's 10 of 10
Turns out he loves
space
Specno and he was
of
just hiding
Specno.
he was just hiding it.
Did you just
Good choice of song.
Yeah, he's just
Sally
fist
looks
pumping.
at Switch. Is that normal?
You just see him going. This is one move.
I think this is a Fitzy and Levi party, and I think Switch and Sally are out of their element here.
Yes.
Levi's got like headphones in and he's listening to Pennywise right now.
Switch is out of his element. He probably has a clubbing alter ego, but he doesn't have the clothes for it. He's not in the right mindset. He's not that person. Right?
Oi,
Why didn't you put that on?
Tell Levi that I love this song. This is the one, the only one I like. Of all the Specno, this is the one. I know you can't tell them all apart, but like this is the best one. I actually have this on repeat. It's my phone ringer.
I think you might just like Specno, man.
No, this is one specific song.
All right. It's okay.
No. Just the one song. I know they all
Okay.
sound similar.
I just send Boys to Men, I'll Make Love to You in his ears.
That is an interesting choice for sure there.
Oh, man.
Gross.
So, yeah, I'm thinking like a Skulk or a Consort role here, maybe. Probably Skulk.
Okay. So, because it's the three of you again, typically I would think that it would make sense for a leading of a group role, but because it sounds like Fitzy, other than the dancing part and that, and Sally, you know, kind of just following along, I think they're really just following your lead for this, so I think just you making the role makes sense.
Cool. I can definitely do that.
This is definitely risky.
Yes.
The effect, I think, is still great though, because if you can navigate this room, you're essentially taking yourself out of harm's way from a major muscle on the station.
Awesome. Now, there is one thing that I remembered only just now when I was looking at our ship sheet, which is that our ship special ability that we took allows us to get a +1D to deceive people when you pass yourself off as ordinary citizens. Which feels like we should have used it a lot more before now, but I'm going to go ahead and take that +1. Yeah, that will help. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. 5.
Sally's gonna take out a notepad while she's watching Fitzy and just take notes. She's very confused. Sally doesn't get out of the space shuttle very often.
Apparently, all she's doing is making drugs for weird cultists.
It's good money. And my
Levi.
test subject. I mean, friend Levi.
All right. So with a 5, you slowly begin to navigate your way and kind of pass through and do your thing. And for the most part, it goes incredibly smooth, right? You've got Fitzy who really is just kind of dancing there and kind of doing his thing, and everything just it kind of distracts a little bit, but at the same time, people just kind of accept it as like, oh, that's just some guy dancing or whatever, right? The three of you make your way through, but for a second, you kind of glance over and you see that the maitre d is kind of looking in your direction. He's kind of looking past, right? He's got the whole tentacle thing, and he's kind of like his tentacle hands are just kind of doing it. He's pointing and he's talking to somebody, and his eyes for a moment land on the three of you, and he kind of stares for just a second, and then shakes it off, and then just goes back to what he's doing, as if there was a moment where he wasn't sure that there was some recognition going on, but then no, that's he's kind of distracted again and kind of moving on with the situation. And so you're able to make your way across the bar towards the back area, to the back of the bar where the other entrance is for the space that you're trying to get to, that is sort of that blackened out location on the map that Levi got for you guys. And that's where we're going to cut back to Levi. All right, Levi. So while you're sort of multitasking and looking at and doing different things, and Sirius, of course, really bitching at you as she's hacking on that thing as you're trying to move. Where are you trying to go specifically?
I'm trying to get to the blacked out room to see what's in there.
Okay.
So
and
I've been kind of making my way and doing this at the same time. I don't know, am I crouch walking, or am I do I have to crawl through this thing, or?
So you probably have to crouch. You can also crawl your way there if you need to. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, it's not something where it's completely cramped. It's not like it was on the Cove, which is some sort of weird access, tunnel where you had to crawl on your belly, basically.
Okay.
So, making your way towards that particular direction, you turn a couple of corners. First you go right, and then you go left after 10 or 15 feet, and then you find yourself coming to essentially what looks to be some sort of a locked hatch of some kind. It looks like for the size of the area that kind of this tunnel is, it's essentially an airlock designed for that, and it's locked, and it's got a status of red, and there's a keypad, and there's a biometric sensor, and so there's a bunch of security specifically on this. None of this was in the manifest for the station. None of this was indicated that this was even here or set up. Your spidey senses start tingling, or your Levi drugged out hacker senses start tingling, and you realize that there might be a completely separate security system for this blacked out area.
I then switch a picture, and it says, "Oh, look, I found a thing. I'm gonna go inside of it," and then begin doing a hack at the same time. As I was like, you can watch them, right? That's fine. Okay. And then I'm gonna try to hack into this, and I want to see if I can hack into this security system.
Okay, so this is definitely a situation where I'm going to say that there's an element of risk. And the risk is you don't know anything about this system. You don't know if you're being monitored. You don't know. There's no element of oh my God, there's a gun pointing at you. You're in element of holy shit, this is unexpected. So that's the risk for me. What do you think the effect is going to be here?
This might be great, standard to great, because what I'm thinking is that I'm trying to hack into another security system, so I'll have two security systems under my belt.
Yes, you will have two security systems under your belt. What I would say the level of complexity is very different between those two systems. If you go for standard, and you succeed, I'll give you a bonus die on the next one. If you go for great, I'll give you more information, but there might be an additional level of difficulty that comes up later on in respect to door security. It's your choice.
Wait, so if I do standard, I get bonus dice later?
You get a bonus die later for your next roll involving the security. If you take great, then you'll get more information. You'll have a little bit more access to the system, but there will be an additional level of difficulty that comes in. It won't be just like a cakewalk. I'm giving you that trade-off because there's an element of risk here that could be introduced regardless of whether you succeed or fail.
Okay. What guys? What do you think I do? Great, standard.
Always go big.
Okay, go big.
Bigger, go home at the spot.
I'm gonna use my special armor. I'm gonna use you expend your special armor to resist the consequences of hacking, or to push yourself while hacking to gather info electronically.
So are you pushing yourself, or do you just want to resist any of the consequences?
So there aren't consequences yet, though.
Right, but he could potentially risk major elements of the consequence prior to. I mean, it's his choice. I mean, it's more, the mechanic is designed for more of a reaction than anything else when you expend it for that particular reason. But I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna expend it and push myself and not take the stress. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, more dice.
Devil's bargain.
Not yet.
Oh, come on! I got the perfect one too.
I feel like Devil's Bargain's gonna. I feel like Devil's Bargains are more for like when I'm like trying to do shit. I'm like relaxed and I'm excited. I'm like, that's more Devil's Bargains when I'm doing something big and it's desperate and I'm like, let's fucking Devil's Bargain, let's do it. That's my Devil's Bargain. This is
okay.
I'm pushing myself and I'm like kind of relaxed and like kind of doing something at the same time and kind of like doing this at the same time, but I'm a little more focused on this right now. So here we go. One bonus dice. 3, 4, 5, 3.
That is an interesting combination. Okay, so you start to tap into it. You realize that it's a 2-factor authentication system. It requires something that you know and something that you have. You're able to bypass the biometric element, which is the something you have, whether it's a tentacle or a hand or an eyeball or something else. You're able to easily subvert that. It's made by a company that does really shoddy work when it comes to biometric systems. So you're a little surprised about that. But otherwise, it seems like the right, sort of like it was a good choice. It just wasn't a great choice because guess what? You're Levi the hacker. The software side ends up being a little bit more challenging for you, and so you start kind of processing. You're going through a quick, sequence of access codes, and you finally are able to get to it. But as you do, you trip the system security sort of like default timeout to figure, in the amount of acceptable codes that it'll take. So it's going to take you another minute before the sort of like the reset happens. You can't actually get in for another minute, but you've got the correct code now. Okay. And so you've got to, you pause for just a second. And with that, you kind of take a moment and you're like, all right, good. And you check in on other things that you've been monitoring. And that's when you actually see on the screen that is the sort of the docking bay sort of greeting area for the Starlight, that that a ship has just pulled in, and you see the woman who calls herself Darla just kind of making her way off of the ship, and then just coming up to talk to the
Right, she's coming on the ship and she's talking to the Xenos.
Yeah, she's talking to the Xeno at the did I robot out there or something? Yeah, sorry about that. Let me know if you missed any part of the description.
I heard she counted in the ship and she come in and she was talking to the bouncer.
Yeah, she's talking to the bouncer at the basically the greeter in the docking area. So,
do I still have access to her tablet?
Well, yeah, that her financial data, her real name, her background. I mean, you basically I believe you critted on that particular hack roll.
Yeah.
So I mean, you still have a lot of access to her just in general.
I'm gonna send her a screenshot, and it's just gonna say, "Is that one your type?" and then a kissy face.
Okay, she hears her tablet beep, but doesn't look at it as she's engaging with the person, and that's when we're gonna cut back to Switch, Sally, and Fitzy.
All right, so yeah, we got a little bit away from the active area. Is it still this like just another empty hall, or is it cool.
No, this is more of a back area of like a bar or a restaurant setting. So you kind of like, there's a prep area. You can see that there's a kitchen off to the side. There's a flurry of activity of a lot of different servers just kind of doing their thing. But there's not really sort of anything else going on that seems out of the ordinary. The door that has been indicated by Levi when he actually did the analysis of the layout of the location is across the room and through the kitchen and sort of the backside of that.
Switch is just gonna act like he's supposed to be here. Just walk on through.
All right, so for the most part, everybody's really distracted. You can still hear a little bit of the thrumming in the background. So if your team still wants to dance, of course, there's still a little bit of music that you can hear. But the Specno is really starting to kind of like get quieter and quieter as you get farther into the kitchen, and of course you hear the loudness of the kitchen. There are various dishes are being prepared, things that are very much geared towards humans, and then there's some really odd stuff really geared towards some Xenos. And whatever the Xenos like sort of species that the hostess was, the lead chef at this place is also of that sort of ilk, and she is just rampant, just kind of moving, and her tentacles are kind of moving around, and she's preparing stuff and she's throwing stuff up, and she's got two other sous chefs with her kind of working, but she's just crazy and hectic. And just at the moment that she just begins to take notice of that somebody's in her kitchen, something else distracting happens, and of course she's got to go deal with that, allowing you to kind of slip by and get your way back through the part of the kitchen.
Where are we going?
We're trying to.
No, I know what the end goal is, but where are we going?
To the room.
Do you know where it is this time?
I'm pretty sure.
Not great. Okay, let's just go then, I guess.
Well, remember,
Sally's gonna look up for a notepad and go, should I make drugs for people that like to club?
I'm pretty sure that's a thing already.
You don't already do that?
I'm pretty sure everyone in that room except for
drugs.
myself and Switch were high.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a
and then
pretty
she just goes
lucrative
back
market.
to her notepad.
Switch is gonna be like, this is after we're past the chef lady, I'm assuming, but he's just gonna be like, look, remember, this is just plan A. If we don't find the room any faster and something bad happens, you wanted to just punch everything, so then we'll punch everything.
Great. Perfect. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm glad I thought of that.
I'm the same. So am I.
Well, should we go left? There's so many T intersections here. In this, it's like a spaceship made out of T's.
But check the map. I'm pretty sure we gotta go right here this time.
Well, what's ironic about that is that through the door behind that sort of back door in the kitchen area, you actually walk down a short hall, and guess what? It's not a T. It's a cross section. Like there's you can go left, right, or forward.
3 options this time.
The designers of this particular part of the space station really got complex.
Oh. Is there a sign at one of the things that says like medical bay this way?
No, it doesn't say. There are no signs whatsoever.
It seems like we went further down the alphabet.
So I'm gonna check my my directions I got there from Levi.
The bad ones.
Wait, can I give him more directions now?
Well, I had because there was the talkie directions, but there was also just like the map. Didn't he just like send us a map basically?
Yes, but then he was also
the map.
Yeah, it's just a straight up map. There's no directions on it. No room locations.
It's
I would have filled that in because I hacked in and like got information about it, so that information should.
I'm imagining it's like one of those 2D like fire maps, essentially.
Yeah, same.
All of a sudden dots show up and it's like Alien.
Motion trackers. Are we gonna do that? Are we gonna do that Xeno episode now? Is that what's happening here?
Space Marauders map.
I guess like if I need to like make a roll to like try to remember which way to go. But
no, I mean like the glaring elephant in the room or space elephant in the club is the blacked out room, right? Like that's where. Yeah.
That's where we're going.
Right.
I would say that's
so
what we're
ironically,
going to, for sure.
it is actually at the crossroad. It is definitely you make a right from where you are. You're gonna go right, and going right. you're going to find yourself walking down a long hall, of course, and with various doors off to the side, and then you get to a point where you have to make another right. And just as you're about to go onto the cusp of like turning that right corner, you hear some noise from that particular direction, and you hear a little bit of conversation, and it appears to be like you pause for just a second, and you hear a conversation between two individuals who appear to be talking about the latest in explosives.
Okay, listen. I know that all the talking shit and all the lying and stealing is kind of your thing, and Sally's got a thing going on.
Go knock these guys out.
Wait, listen, here's the deal. When we're going into this situation, this is my specialty. Act like you're drunk and or high, and pretend like you're lost. It'll throw them off their game. They'll think, oh, these innocent baby sheep, they're lost from the flock, and then you punch them in the fucking face.
We don't have to.
I'll have you know.
No.
I am not drunk.
No, I know, pretend.
No, I'm not drunk.
Oh, I see you're doing like a bit here. It's like a... Okay, great. I just thought you were being ostentatious, as per usual.
Yeah, like Switch just kind of starts like wobbling a little bit, like it's that kind of walk where it's like somebody who's trying to be more careful. Then it's like they're trying to be careful, and so it's obvious that they're like unsteady. Yeah.
Sally pays attention. She's like, "Wait, should we get high?"
Sally, you know what? Just act normal. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, just
you're
kind of like a little wackadoo.
All right,
In like the best
tell
way.
you what, I thought you already were high. I'll be honest.
Not usually high, actually. And she just faces out.
You see in the most awkward way, Fitzy puts his hand like down his pants, and you see him like wiggle like towards his thigh, and he pulls out a hip flask that was hidden, and he just like glug, 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 glug. I can't even pretend at this point. He slides it back in.
I'm very glad that he pulled out a flask, and she
Well.
just stares clearly away from
Here's
him.
one of these. Oh no.
Yeah, Sally does not see things below.
Okay, and then a 3, a 2, 1. Oh, and then I said, what's the third boob for? and he moves around the corner.
As the three of you move around the corner, you come into full view of essentially what is a 10-foot hallway to what looked like an airlocked door.
Man, I was like, Christ.
10-foot hallway to a locked door. Standing in front of that airlocked door are two individuals standing in full armor.
Ooh.
And the moment that the three of you come around, you see that their rifles snap up. Blaster rifles aimed directly at you.
Oh.
I think this Fitzy is like walking backwards, right? As he's trying to like put on a show of drunkenness, and he's clearly talking to two other drunkards. And then she said, "Let's go back to my place and I'll show you what the third one's for." And I said, "No, you crazy space lady. You have 6 legs and 3. And then what's the other arm for? Not a damn chance."
Oh, no way you did that.
Sally's trying to keep her cool, but her eyes get really big, like, oh,
I gotta take a piss. Are we near the bathroom yet? Or what? Is this just... Hello?
I'm pretty sure the bathroom...
There's not even a single sign on this entire spaceship. You'd think you'd put loo this way, or like snackery or whatever, but nothing. Anyway, oh shite! And he like turns and sees the guys. Could you tell me where the bathroom is? You look like a fancy maitre d'. The other one had like squiddlies.
One of them doesn't say a word, aims down at your feet, puts a blaster bolt right at your feet, aims it back at you,
That's kind
and
of
says,
rude.
"Move. Leave now."
To where?
I shoot him.
You're gonna
You shoot him?
I shoot him.
How many guys were there? Was
2.
it 2?
There's 2. You go
Sally's
and reach
gonna
for your...
shoot the other one.
So hold on.
Yes.
I have shoot first.
Yeah, you
Hold on a
shoot
second.
first.
Switch goes and reaches for his guns. Sally reaches for her weird sort of like needle gun, and that's where we're gonna cut to Levi.
Oh, I thought you were gonna end the episode. I was gonna say you.
I was like, what?
So Levi, you're kind of watching Darla sort of like do her thing, and then she starts to get into the elevator that takes her up to the club level, and that's when she kind of looks at her data pad. But as she's looking at her data pad, and she gets her message, and she makes this sort of like, "What the fuck" face. You see that there is some sort of flurry of activity as the security system begins to acknowledge that there's something going on in another part of the station. And of course, it kind of like it kind of cycles through, and then all of a sudden it comes big on your display screen, and you see that there was a blaster fire. There was a blast, like a blaster bolt that hit at the feet of Fitzy, and you see two armed individuals just kind of pointing their rifles at the direction of Switch and Sally and Fitzy, and you see that that's about to happen, and you're thinking it's about time you're ready to react about that, and that's when your display dings and like the message notification pops up over the video display, and it says, "What the hell are you doing here?" And it's from Darla.
Okay. At the moment, I'm like, Siri, how is that audio program coming along?
She's like, "Stop talking to me. I'm trying to get some stuff done, you dunce."
Are you doing the thing about the blaster?
I'm working on the encryption program. Stop. Just stop.
Oh,
shut up.
Then what I do is, can those specific comms, can they go out? Can I hack them out?
Now that's not something that requires a roll, because that's covered by your crit. And so yes, you fire up another piece of another script that you've got that's to go in and to start denying individuals access to sort of the radio network, or the network that you use specifically for communication. And it's like all of a sudden your script pops up, your notification kind of gets dismissed, screen pops up, you see a list of goons listed, goon 1, goon 2, goon 3, basically. I'm not going to name them all, right? You see a list of goons, and you see that two of them, the statuses next to them went from green to red, and now those guys are dark. They have no communication.
And it's going to go back to green. And then I am going to... I'm going to look at Siri and be like, did the audio program work? Can we mimic them or what?
She kind of, she ignores you and says, she says, "Give me a second." And you see that there's a bunch of code that's kind of like, broadcasting all across your screen. And it's a bunch of new code, but it's untested scripted code specifically to solve this particular problem. So what I'm going to need here is a fortune roll to determine how successful Siri actually was to make this happen or not.
Okay, how do I do a fortune roll again? It's down here. Yeah,
that's right. Roll it's on your thing. Now we're going to discuss the positives or negatives of the situation to figure out what the pool is here. All right. So you get one die immediately because it's a fortune roll, and because that you need at least one minimum to make this roll. What else is in your favor, guys?
I'm in the system. We have encryption going. We have some of the audio files from them, possibly. And I think I'm trying to think what else.
So I'm sorry, you roboted it out for just a second. It's the stupid hotel Wi-Fi. So you have the one die for the roll, one for the encryption that's going on. What was the third one?
We have their audio.
Oh, I'm in the system, and we have part of their audio.
Right. Okay.
And then the downsides is the script isn't finished, or it's untested.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think what else there would be. That might be it. Can anyone else think of anything that's bad right now?
Man, I would hesitate to say the. I mean, I know the failure is part of the untested code, but it was a failure on a great roll. So it could be worth more than one negative.
Oh, I failed?
Yeah, you rolled 3 2s on your hack to do the sound thing.
But Siri took over.
Yeah, that
Siri
was
took over, and now
that was the failure, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's when Siri took over, and that's when it became a fortune roll to see if she succeeded or not.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I think those 3 might be it.
So those 3.
Okay.
I actually can't think of any reason why there's another failure that needs to be here. So I'm perfectly okay with that. Let's go down to with a roll of 3. So let's go ahead and see how well Siri did here.
Notes.
No. Oh no, that's a crit fail.
Whoa! Oh my god!
That's the worst roll of our entire game.
That is the worst roll of the entire game. Holy shit! I really
should have
don't
known
know.
it was too good to be true.
I mean, you want an alibi on this one, Johnny? I got you if you want.
I would love. So here's the thing: is I've got a couple of ideas of how badly this can go. But if you guys you've got something that you want to introduce, I would love that because otherwise I'm going to be really bad. It's going to be really bad.
I have a simple one, so you can plan for next week when we die. Is that he hits enter or whatever to execute the code, and then all kinds of alerts and pop-ups, right, a la hackers from 1990 whatever, start happening all over his and Siri's screen, and that's where we end the episode.
Oh no! That's not where we. And just but yes, that's pretty damn good. So for Levi, all this stuff starts to happen, right? All these notifications start to come up.
Warning.
You know, all this shit comes up. And it just kind of, does its thing. And then 2 additional notifications come after all those start happening. And Siri is just like, what the fuck, noob? What the hell did you do to this script? It should have worked. What is your problem?
I don't know. You're the one who wrote it. It's your fault. Paul Craftsman blames his tools.
All right. Then 2 additional notifications come up. And one is from Darla. What the hell is all this code that you're sending me? Why do you give me a... And then there's a ... We're going to talk later.
Okay.
And you're like, just as you're dismissing that, the next notification comes in. And you see that it's from Stev. Oh, jeez. You see that it's from Stev. And it says, what are you doing on this Straylight? ? And that's when we're going to cut to Fitzy, Switch, and Sally. All right, talk to me about shooting first.
So I have an ability. So the first part is about springing a trap. When you attack from hiding or springing a trap, I think we failed on that part. Take +1d when there's a question about who acts first. Take +1d, period. When there's a question about who acts first, the answer is you. 2 characters will shoot first, act simultaneously.
Okay. So there is a 4-position clock here, or 4-part progress clock here, because these guys are more than just your average thugs.
Yeah, they're badasses.
Yeah, because they're armored, they've got rifles, and they're definitely have some level of military training. So, take a shot for me. How are you going to do this? What does this look like?
All right, so I have I'm like quick drawing one of my fine pistols. So I'm using scrap. I believe because I have a fine quality sidearm for my pistol that I get bonus effect.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'm starting at limited because they have armor, or if I start at standard because I'm just shooting this guy. But either way, I can bump up one.
All right, so you roll with 2 blasters on your side, one on each hip, right?
Yeah. I guess I could be double quick drawing. That makes sense.
Well, the question is, are you double quick drawing? And then if you're double quick drawing, is it the kind of thing where you're going like this, and then you're shooting the one guy, or are you doing the whole like splitting?
No, I'm trying to take down one, and I'm gonna trust the fact that if I get one of them down, that Fitzy will be able to handle the rest.
What about Sally? Sally pulled her needle gun.
They did.
Look, Switch likes to make fun of Fitzy about how Sally is the tough one of the pair of them, but he knows his crew, and when the shit gets real, he tends to get a little bit more serious. And I think this is kind of like where he's like a little bit done fucking around, and it's just gonna let things go.
And Sally's gonna shoot and retreat behind Fitzy, but she is gonna shoot.
Good.
All right.
Cause she'll participate, but only at her level.
All right. So you draw. You quick draw. Your guns are out. You take the first shot. So this is a situation where I think the position is, I feel like, desperate.
I'm good with that.
The effect could be limited. It could also be argued that it could be standard, depending upon. I mean, are you just going going to aim for this guy's chest or his head? Are you basically trying to do the double tap kind of a thing and take him out?
I mean, Switch is probably aiming for the chest just because like he has no like illusions about like how good of a shot he is. Like the whole point of this is just like overwhelming firepower too fast for this guy to react. That's the plan here.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so then yeah, this sounds like unlimited. Go ahead and take that shot.
So do I get the bump up from limited to standard for the fine pistols?
Yep.
All right, sweet.
Yep, for the fine pistols. Do you want to push yourself or take a devil's bargain?
I will definitely push myself for the 2 stress. You got a devil's bargain for me?
You can push yourself or take the devil's bargain. You can do both.
True. Actually, I'll take the devil's bargain if you got one.
Let's see. At some point during this, during the rest of the job, once you get past this door, you're going to run into somebody that knows you from the Turner Society.
Done.
All right.
That's an easy yes. All right, roll it up. No, God, no.
Okay. Well, this just got interesting. All right.
Wow.
Can I give like an option for like at least part of the failure? Because I'm sure there's going to be something bad on top of this. But I love the idea that I just shoot this guy and just like watch the like two like it like hits his armor and just like smokes, and it's just like, oh fuck. Just does nothing to his armor.
So wait for Fitzy to fucking punch someone.
Yeah, well, I gotta shoot this other guy.
So it's just like the shots just sort of ricochet, and it's just like dissipate, right? They kind of not even get any like leverage of like, you know, bouncing back and forth. It just dissipate and done. And the guy just kind of like lowers his gun just a little bit, and for just a second, his like helmet, the screen that's on it goes a little less like opaque, and you can see his eyes, and he just kind of raises his eyebrow at you as Sally gets a chance to take her shot because he paused.
Okay. Sally's gonna scramble because she's not as good. She's gonna aim for leg foot. She's not gonna aim straight up, so the guy, you know.
You're trying to trank him, right? That's what you got.
Either trank.
And so,
well, okay. Pick a number between 1 and 3.
3.
Yeah, that's the trank one. Okay. Damn it! I wanted him to shit himself. What effect did we decide on his? I missed that part.
Limited. So.
Oh. Okay.
Wow. Okay. So limited with a
who's useless? Fitzy, who's useless?
All right.
Her eyes are just gonna go, oh shit, I did it, and then she's gonna run right behind Fitzy.
All right. So this actually builds on Switch's failure. So that you succeed, but there was a bit of a consequence. So as you're firing, your Switch fires, it kind of ricochets and just doesn't, and the rifle kind of drops a little bit as the guy just kind of gives Switch a quizzical look, which distracts his partner because his partner hasn't shot. The partner is wondering why the guy hasn't shot. He looks over a little bit at his partner there. Your dart kind of nails the guy. Where are you hitting him in the legs? Like, is it like?
I would say, because she is a doctor, she's probably going for thigh, which is going to have important arteries, which means the tranq would be effective.
Okay, so
being as I scored that high, that she actually thought about it.
Right. So with your knowledge in anatomy, you see that there's an area inside of like his armor where there's like a little bit of a soft area that's not covered by anything like plasteel or anything, and you're just like you aim down and you shoot him, and as you begin to duck back, the guy, he goes immediately in, hits his artery, goes into his nervous system, right, and he immediately starts to, but he just pulls the trigger at the same time and takes a shot directly at Switch.
Oh no!
This is going to be a level 3 harm unless you can tell me how you're going to resist this.
So yeah, I've got my special armor, which I can expend to resist the consequence of blaster fire, Devil's Own Luck, and I think like what this looks like is essentially like he shoots and sees that it's gonna miss, and he's just like, oh shit, and just jumps out of the way, and we see like the blaster bolt like go through his jacket and just like pin like the wall behind his jacket with like a smoking. And just so you know, I am lucky because I just picked up when the chips are down, and so I get a second use of special armor between each downtime.
Nice.
Nice.
I have one more of those left in the back pocket here.
Well, lucky for you that you did that leveling up thing, right? And so the blast goes off. You go darting that way, but you jump yourself and you jump down towards the hallway because you're still at the junction, right? The turn, right? So you just sort of jump out of the way. Sally kind of ducks around behind Fitzy. Guy's blaster, the guy with the blaster still held up, who was just like, kind of giving you the eye because you just tried to shoot him and failed, kind of looks down over and kind of begins to take assessment of the situation with his partner, opening it up for Fitzy.
Fitzy charges down the hallway. And he says, oh, fuck, it's go time! And you see him start running down the hallway, and as he does, you see that, same weird, purpley kind of glow that his eyes get cascade down his hands and, to his elbows as he charges in, fists literally ablaze, and I'm punching this dude in the chest until he dies. So what is this? Is this risky or desperate?
This is actually risky because he's he's not really pointing his blaster at you. You're not directly facing death.
Sure.
He's still trying to assess the situation here. However, he's still covered in armor, so it's not like it's a situation where you are in complete control here.
Okay, so
it's definitely risky.
Effect standard?
Yes.
Fantastic. I have.
You want to take a devil's bargain or push yourself?
I'm going to push myself, and also I have fine melee weapons, so that's 2 bonus dice.
Do you want a gambit?
I don't.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what that 6 does, because that guy is armored, as you said, but he's not shielded. So what that means is my psi blades or psi fists cut through armor. So I punch him through the chest. And it's like a lightsaber through a metal door. You just see, and it melts and sizzles as his hand connects with sternum, and he just punches this guy in the heart.
And so as that fist kind of goes through, you hear what sounds like squishiness and burning. You smell burning flesh as it goes through first plasteel, then the soft flesh of his chest. Then you hit bone, and it just kind of melts away a little bit. And it's just this sort of weird sound as the guy goes, oh, as he just kind of collapses on your fist. And when you pull it out, there's just sound.
And he just turns around and goes, fuck yeah! You see that shit? Levi, I hope you're watching, you fucking shit!
And so we cut back to Levi, who is just still reeling from the message, and he looks over at the
display. You just see a camera, and it's fucking... it's Fitzy pointing at it. And a dead guy.
So as you're kind of seeing that, you see another notification message comes up for you, Levi, and on the screen it says, "I hear that you're in the station. Why have you not found me yet?" ? And that's where we're going to end it.
Was that Steph?
Nice. Is the
No.
unknown person?
That was the contact of Lens from Mouthclef.
Okay.
All right. Fucking A.
I have something crazy that I might want to do next time, but
Oh, yeah.
Wait, for like the finale?
Yeah.
I mean, because we are going to come back with a finale next week. Then
Yes.
that's you do something crazy. That's not going to happen. It's never happened before. It's going to be new.
Weird that you say that. Yeah, guys, that was the penultimate episode. Let's do our around the room situation and get the hell out of here. We'll start with Johnny. Who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
I am Johnny. I'm the Video Store Cowboy. I am the GM here on this little thing we call Blaze of Glory Hole. That's Scum and Villainy. You can also find me on my channel, occasionally doing character creation stuff, and I'm going to get back to some video game streaming and some other shenanigans this week. You can also see me sometimes on Fridays on Arvin Elrond's channel for Esper Genesis, which is their version of it's a 5e compatible space opera kind of setting situation, and that's always fun and shenanigans, and we actually survived, so there wasn't a TPK, which is great. And then on Sundays you can find me over on AP Gaming Real playing Game of Thrones House War with Sam here, where we basically try to backstab and cutthroat. And next weekend we're actually going to Sam's house and getting like there's going to be a feast, and we're going to eat, and we're going to bullshit, and we're going to cause a lot of trouble. There will be no diplomacy whatsoever. It's all going to be shenanigans and bullshit.
Okay.
And that's me.
Speaking of shenanigans and bullshit, McLokin, who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
Hi, my name's McLokin. I may have put a hint in chat of what I'm planning on doing. I had this idea the whole time, and it may come into effect very soon. I was when shit goes really bad, what do I normally do? But I didn't start it.
We didn't start the fire.
Didn't we already talk about this on Twitter?
In my other game, I didn't start that fire. Okay, that was another player. I just suggested that we start a fire, and then people started lighting shit on fire. And then I was like, well, I might as well make more fires, and then I did.
I get what you're saying. It was always burning since the world was turning.
Son of a bitch.
I got it. I got it.
Speaking of starting fires, Sam, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
I'm McLokin, by the way. Thanks.
Well, I'm sorry, you took 90 minutes. You started with I'm McLokin, to be fair, and then you went on a tangent about lighting things on fire and Billy Joel.
You can find me.
No
in
one
a tunnel
cares.
starting fires.
You can find me in space.
I'm Sam, twitch.tv/wizardfool, Twitter @DWizardFool. I'm going to be, back on twitch.tv/APGamingReal on Sunday, throwing a fancy party for all these other horrible nobles. And then I'm going to win a tournament, and I'm gonna totally show up Johnny, and it's gonna be really good.
Look, you tried to fix the economy last night, and it didn't quite go the way that you expected, buddy.
I got fleeced by a merchant really hard last night. Things have not gone my way so far in this game. So yeah, come on by.
Well, did you see my rules?
It hasn't been great. It hasn't been great, but it's been fun. So come on by, and otherwise we'll be back here for this finale next week. And that's where you can find me.
Man, I just go with the segue it's given to me. Speaking of not being great but being fun, Cherry, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
I'm Cherry Babam. I'm doing the tarot thing and the RP thing on my channel this week before TwitchCon, where I will be at the convention Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, for some reason, I've decided to be singing on a stage, so go to my Twitter for information about that, Monka. And I hope if you're coming to TwitchCon, you come say hello.
Guys, be sure to say.
Did you know that she was famous?
Yeah, be sure to say. Be sure to say hey to the famous Cherry Babam, the Cherry Babam Gaming at Twitch.
I hate you all.
Please. If you guys could take a selfie with her, the Cherry Babam. at
And then send
TwitchCon.
it to Mike. Mike wants to see yourself.
Mike,
Yeah.
yeah. Tag yourself
And
in
me.
the picture.
And Mike, but not Cherry.
Also,
Not
make
me, just
sure-
Mike.
Make sure if you do see her, walk up to her and ask her very loudly, "Yo, where are my drugs?"
Yeah.
And then,
Also do that.
Jeez.
Do
right
that.
by security.
Perfect.
And I'll be like, it's cool, it's RP.
and then
the
pull out
people will have
PDs
it.
and put it in their
No
mouth.
idea what that means.
God
Yeah.
damn it. All right.
It's
With-
perfect.
Should we like send her like a box of Tic Tacs or like a case of Tic Tacs that she
No.
can just hit?
I was thinking like the orange gummies, and then people or like gummy.
Oh, you're
worms and, like,
right, you're
gummy
right.
Worms.
I used to have people send me the 1 pound bag of like the cherry gummies or the strawberry, the Harborough gummies.
That sounds
Yeah,
dangerous.
Did you
is.
eat them?
I
would've.
finished the cherries. I couldn't finish the peaches. It was difficult.
Wow. Wow.
Do you have
Over
diabetes?
several weeks. Over
Okay.
several
Okay.
weeks.
If those
One
were in my
stream.
house, they would get eaten.
In one session. Just all right.
I would die.
We're gonna get the hell out of here. We're gonna go raid our friends over at Variant Roles. They are some wonderful people playing some tabletop games. So go give them a follow. Go give them all of your hot sticky raid love. And from all of us to you guys, bye bye.